Oh,
Oh,
hey, Mike. Hey, you think there's 6 tight ends out there that people are sleeping on?
hell yeah, Biggs. Let's go, buddy.
Hey, welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. I am bigz. He is Grindberg. Today we're talking about sleeper tight ends. These, you know how I feel about tight ends. I say draft tight ends very last in your redraft leagues. Those are your home leagues, your family leagues, work leagues, etc. But I wait until the very end to draft tight ends because I play waiver wire matchups throughout the season. However, if I'm going to draft a tight end in the middle rounds, let's talk about some guys that I might have my eye on. First of all, let me say this too. I don't know why we added a quarterback for fun, but my quarterback sleeper this week is going to be Sam Darnold. It was just announced that he's basically the starter in Minnesota, and he's got a nice cast of characters to throw to. We've talked about quarterbacks ascending. Maybe this year he's the new Baker Mayfield. He's going to have finally put his career together and have a great year, especially in that Kevin O'Connell offense. And so I'm really liking Sam Darnold. Another position that I try and draft as late as possible in redraft leagues. Okay, so my three tight ends that I think are sleepers. The first one is Cameron Latu. He was really good at Alabama, drafted in 2023, and spent the year hurt. But he's on the San Francisco 49ers, and he's behind George Kittle. So were anything to happen to George Kittle, Cameron Latu would step in, and he would be the tight end in that offense. And, I can handle that. Number 2 is Dallin Holker. Dallin Holker is a rookie this season. He played for Colorado State last year. He led college football in catches and receiving yards among tight ends. He was a runner-up behind Brock Bowers for the Mackey Award given to the best tight end. And he plays for the New Orleans Saints, where they just already did have a tight end injury. Juwan Johnson went down with a hurt, and Taysom Hill is more of a gadget player. So they got Foster Moreau. He doesn't have the best hands. So there is a world that exists in which Dallin Holker could be the tight end owned in that Saints offense. And then my number 1 spotlight, we'll get to after Mike shares his.
You're good, you. Yeah, well, I mean, I threw in a quarterback here because we always talk about quarterbacks every week in our shows, but we rarely get into the tight ends, and I think that we needed to address some tight ends this week, so I threw them in, but I also didn't want to neglect the quarterback position, and I got another sleeper at that position this week, and that's Will Levis, and he emerged as a promising ADP gold mine in 2024. I'm thinking this year his debut last year against the Falcons showed his promise, 4 touchdowns. He's got new wide receivers, a good slot receiver, Tyler Boyd. Calvin Ridley is now coming in. He's a little bit older, but I think they're putting weapons around Will Levis. He's had the same pedigree coach that Joe Burrow just had, and I think that they have some upside here headed into the season. So I think Will Levis is somebody that has some upside to be a top, 15 quarterback in 2024. Now, as we move into the tight end position, we're talking about guys we want to get at value, and Hunter Henry looks like a sleeper pick in 2024 because he's set to be the main tight end in New England despite facing competitions from new guys like Austin Hooper and Mitchell Wilcox. Last year, Henry was on track to lead the Patriots in receiving until that knee injury sidelined him. Currently ranked as the tight end 27 in early drafts, Henry offers a chance for a late round steal. He's known for making the most of his scoring chances and could be a key player for this New England team in 2024. And then speaking of New England, well, there was an old tight end that is now moved on to the Cincinnati Bengals, and he offers intriguing potential to me, and that's Mike Gesicki. Gesicki didn't have a great 2023 with the Patriots, but now he's in a potential offense with Joe Burrow emerging, and that is a high-flying offense, and I think Gesicki is a sleeper pick in 2024. This move to the Bengals is a great place for him in a high-octane offense, and I think he could thrive as a red zone threat with Joe Burrow. Now, bigz, we've been waiting for your top tight end pick in 2024 as a sleeper, and I know that you're really high on tight ends, and you're a guy that likes to pick them late, and you've been able to find some really good ones in the past, and you've helped me in the last year especially find some gems at that position that I was able to insert late in the season. And I think our viewers want to hear your side of the story here, and who's a guy that they could see as a number one sleeper, and why is he your sleeper?
Well, I'll get to that in a second, but I just want to ask the viewership out there, you know, even the ones in India and Vietnam and Portugal, and hey guys, when he says the Bengals, how many of you think walk like an Egyptian? Okay, so my tight end spotlight is going to be Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith had his best finish in 2020. That was with the Titans, and that was basically because he had 8 touchdowns. But he solidified his image as a nice red zone target. Like the man is a large human and can be used as a red zone target, especially on a team like the Miami Dolphins, where they have some smaller receivers, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, who may not necessarily be those super tall back in the end zone catchers. Maybe Tua has a better year with Jonnu Smith. The thing about Jonnu Smith is that after that 2020 finish, he was then saddled in tight end partnerships in New England, and then last year with Kyle Pitts in Atlanta with the Falcons. And I see a big year for him. Now, our tight end guru, friend of the show, even though he may not know it, Andrew Cooper, follow him at Koopa Fiasco on Twitter. He is like the leader in fantasy tight end knowledge. He has 2 criteria for finding your back end tight end. Number 1 is the guy going to get, does he have a chance at 90 targets? And number 2, does he have a chance at 10 touchdowns? He doesn't have to be 90 targets and 10 touchdowns. Just one of those will make him a rosterable tight end. And so what we do is we spend, it's called the yin and yang tight end draft strategy. Basically what you do is you secure one of the top 5. And then when you draft your second tight end, you make sure it's going to be somebody who has a chance for 90 targets or a chance for 10 touchdowns. Now, touchdowns are kind of nebulous. They're not sticky. They don't carry over. But we do know that Jonnu Smith has had 8 touchdowns before. He could catch 10 in a season. That's totally not out of the question. And also, in a situation where his only competition for targets at the tight end position is Durham Smythe, or Smith, depending on if you're from Canada or not, he very easily could be in the 90 to 100 target range. He's never done it before, but he's also never been in a position where he was the main go-to guy at the tight end position. So maybe Jonnu Smith's ultimate breakout has taken a few years longer than we hoped, but this could be the year. I'm looking at Jonnu Smith, and I'm drafting him as soon as he comes around at his ADP.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that has that athleticism that you're looking for in the tight end position, especially athleticism at every position is important, but I think it's especially important at the tight end position, especially if we're looking for fantasy relevant players, and Jonnu Smith is one of those guys. And now my number 1 pick here is Ben Sinnott, and he is shaping up to be a good sleeper pick in 2024, especially with the connection with Jaden Daniels that could potentially happen. He's selected in the 2nd round. Sinnott joins a team looking to bounce back from a tough 4-13 season, with Daniels set to lead the charge as a high selection. His versatility, reliability make him a standout option for fantasy owners. Standing at 6'4", 250 pounds, he fits Daniels' playing style well, having proven himself with 82 receptions for 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns during his time at K-State. From a statistical standpoint, Sinnett's numbers speak for themselves. He earned a top 3 PFF grade for tight ends last season. Despite being projected as a late round undrafted pick, right in line with last year's sleeper pick, Sam Laporta, Ben Sinnott offers clear value in fantasy drafts. His blend of athleticism, reliability, and potential chemistry with Jaden Daniels positions him as a strategic sleeper pick capable of surpassing expectations in the upcoming season. He's under the radar status combined with his achievements and fit with the evolving Commanders offense makes him a compelling sleeper for 2024 football. He could prove to be a pivotal draft pick, providing fantasy managers with a versatile tight end poised for significant contributions in fantasy leagues. So he's a guy that I have my eye and he's circled on my calendar. I think he's going to be a good sleeper pick in 2024. What are your thoughts on Ben Sinnott there, Biggs?
I like Sinnott a lot too. I'm taking him in Dynasty all over the place, best ball as well. Yeah, he's got competition from Cole Turner, who could be the incumbent. He could be the next guy up.
Mm-hmm.
But as you know, as somebody who's at the level of sleeper, Sinnott is not a bad choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if all you all seen my new cap that I'm wearing. It says Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz, and it's us, man. We're on caps now. And you can find that at the Fantasy Football Advice Network on the website, on the Streamlabs. You can check out my new Fantasy Football Advice sweater too. It's kicking. And I think now that we've kind of slept off the tight end position, now we're going to have to wake up and talk about some sleepers in the wide receiver room. That's on our next episode, Biggs. Yeah. What else you got for us, buddy?
Well, I do have an update on Ohio cannabis. It is legal to possess. Dispensaries will not be open until this summer or into the fall in 2024. So there's a possibility that Canton might have a dispensary open. Other than that, as long as you're okay to fly out of Canada carrying, landing in Ohio carrying won't be a problem.
Perfect. Good to know.
All right, and that'll do it for us for this week, or this episode. We'll be back with our wide receivers on the next one, and maybe a special appearance from our producer, Schultze.
Schultze, say hi, Schultze.
Hey, I made it.
Yeah,
hi, Schultze.
I was teasing the next episode, but hey, that was Schultze. Like us, subscribe to us, hit the bell. Follow us on Twitter at BigBonedFFB at FFConnect99, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, buddy. See you later,
I hope
guys.
you win.